Hey, I'm Friction and you are locked on to Bladerunnaz TV.
Hello and welcome again in Budapest. How are you feeling tonight, Friction?
Yeah, all good. Tired after a long summer, touring and festivals and stuff like that. So it's nice to be back in like a club, you know, like being kind of in Hungary and Budapest, back with the Bladerunnaz crew and ready for another show.
It's been a long time.
It's been a minute, yeah.
You've put out lots of great tracks recently, last of which is the huge Man in the Jungle. What new music can we hear from you?
There's actually probably about 3 or 4 tracks from my album that I've started playing in my sets now that I'll play tonight. I'm just kind of hearing, so I sort of DJ, I play the tune and I sort of remember what I think I need to change, and then I go home each weekend, change it and then try it again the next week. So just kind of, yeah, changing things slightly at the moment on album tunes.
For years now we heard about you doing an album. How close are you to finish this project?
Yeah, I'm sort of there finally. I think it's just I spent a long time being more known as a DJ rather than a producer, and I think I would DJ and I'd be like, yeah, one day I'm going to write an album, and I would say it and not really be ready to write an album. But the last sort of 2 or 3 years I've really, you know, got my head down with my production and really just worked really hard to try and make it happen. And yeah, sort of Mad in the Jungle probably would be the first single from that album. And yeah, looking forward to something coming out early next year, hopefully.
I think you're ready, man. So
I hope so.
Bring it on.
I hope so.
Shogun Audio has always comes up with exciting releases. The Moby remix EP, my new length drum bass EP, for instance. Any new exciting projects that you can tell us?
Yeah, there's lots of releases coming up on the label, more from Pola and Bryson, some music from Galaxy. We've got a really exciting project from on the Point 2 album, the Point of Origin album, which is something that I really get excited about because it's an album where we do it on Shogun and it showcases all the talent we think is coming through, and it's going to be big over the next year. So we've just finished putting that together, and that looks pretty big. You know, more new music from Technomatic, more music from Edit, and just, yeah, lots to come on Shogun. And then on Elevate as well now. Elevate is really moving, and we've got just so much music kind of lined up on Elevate. It's crazy. Obviously my album and releases on there. And we've got a Mackie G track on Elevate that's ridiculous. It's one of the biggest festival tunes right now. And yeah, it's just full on, you know, it's non-stop at the moment.
So good to hear. So yeah, last year you launched Elevate Audio. So what's the plan with this label, and what does this label mean to Shogun Audio? Is it going to collide in some way, or is it a totally separate project? Or
it's a separate project. So now it's actually now Elevate Audio. It's Elevate Records and Shogun Audio, just to make sure that we keep the two, because I want the two will take people in different directions, you know. Elevate is more non-compromise. Every tune will be something you could play on the dance floor, whereas it was getting the situation where, you know, the music I was making personally didn't suit Shogun. You know, like some of it, sometimes I'd make a track that was kind of Shogun-y and then sometimes not, and I wanted an out somewhere for that. And, you know, Shogun now, we can really focus on keeping it purely sort of more deeper music, some tech influences as well. Basically what Shogun, the main style of what Shogun's been. So now having Elevate running alongside Shogun means we can do that, and it's a clear path.
great. As a DJ and a radio host, and just a generally well-known and respected artist in the drum and bass scene, you probably get sent to a huge amount of music all the time. So how do you find the time to go through them all?
I'm quite ruthless with the music. So I set the time aside each week to run through the music, and you know, I just have to listen, and I can't listen for long because there's just literally so many tracks. So that's kind of how I deal with the radio stuff. A lot of the stuff now with Shogun, the A&R team has expanded a little now. So, you know, there's more people listening to music, and I can help me with that because there's just too much music to listen to.
I can imagine, yeah.
So yeah.
So as you said before, the festival season is pretty much over, and now it's back to club season. Do you like going back to doing club sets, or at the same time are you gutted that the season festival has ended?
I think this summer we've sort of spent, you know, myself and Linguistics have spent the summer festivals and Ibiza, and you know, we've just done Outlook Festival and did a lot of travelling. You know, there's a lot more partying, I think, at festivals. And it's just kind of like we're ready now I'm ready to get into clubs, go back home and get back in the studio and keep things like that for now. So, and I like club music because I think that the club scene is very important to sort of bringing through underground music. And I think without a club scene, it's very hard to break new tunes, because you play at a festival and you play for an hour, sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less, but it's really hard to play new music because the crowd is a massive crowd and they may not be your core fans, and they want to hear your biggest tunes, other people's biggest tunes, and it's very hard to sort of say, hey wait, no, listen to this one, without everyone leaving, you know, like, yeah, and it's hard. So I think it's very important that people focus on supporting clubs, going out to clubs, putting on club nights, and not just thinking, I just want to go to a festival, because clubs are a great experience, you know, and it's where you will hear new music.
Yeah, I agree with that. In your sets, you always try to cover the full spectrum of drum and bass, but a lot of other DJs are focusing on one particular subgenre. How do you feel about this? Is this a good thing or a bad thing in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult now because I think people kind of want high energy, harder music a lot. And it was funny when I was being at Outlook Festival and getting to see other people playing different subgenres of drum and bass. And it's such an important thing because a lot of clubs now, you know, like I say, they just want the sort of hard impact sort of drum and bass, and there's such a big world out there of drum and bass music, and drum and bass is at its strongest when all of the subgenres of drum and bass and all of the influences are all working together. So yeah, I think it's really important that lots of different styles are represented, which is why I take it back to the club so important. And people like Bladerunnaz supporting drum and bass in Hungary, you know, Budapest and Hungary is a massive thing.
Is there any last words that you would like to say?
Big up the Budapest crew.